Good morning, folks. Morning, Kat. I saw you were on last night, or I guess this morning, which was your last night or whatever it was. But I was a little bit toasty. We went to a brewery yesterday, and I decided not to cause havoc and throw you off base. So you're welcome. We've got a lot to do today, so I did my conquest this morning, and I just simmed it all because we have a ton of roster reviews that have come in. I did my conquest. I got my red crate. I tracked it fully this time around. 136 battles, which is, we haven't seen something like that since like the mall conquest. A conquest where it could just be beaten so easily by an account that's, more on the veteran side. But I did kind of get screwed on Datacron so far. Godzilla, good morning, man. Because I was able to do it so early, I already do have two of them. Let me just throw my game on because I see I'm still on .gg. Right, so I did get my Gungan one, which has a nice level 3 and has a nice level 6. But I got screwed on fucking Gungan Bombardier and lots of reroll mats to try and get it to something else. But it did. I tried it in Arena, and I was able to auto layout with it, so, I mean, I guess it's not that bad. And then I got an Inquisitor one, which is fucking second sister, who nobody uses ever, so we'll see. See what happens if I get lucky on this one. What is it, light side? I'm hoping for another Gungan one. I'd like to get Boss Nass. I don't think I'm going to be able to re-roll that 80 because my guild sucks at Territory Wars. Good morning, Cronish. Oh, I didn't have any regular coffee this morning, which sucks. My Nespresso is completely out, so just going for espresso this morning. We unlocked Mandalore as a first. I don't think we're going to star it this time around because we got it in day 5. Ideally, we would want to get it in day 4. I think by next month we'll be able to get it in day 4, which will make that easily starable. But I do think we should be able to get at least one of the crates, if not both of them. Alright, so let's get these manual battles that need to get done out of the way first. And I need you out, right? Because I need you for that other one. I really, really hate this battle. It is easier than Phase 2 Dark Side, though, so you're marked. I know that you have alright, good. We got exactly what I wanted out of that first shot, which makes this not the most worrying thing in the world. What I find is when I do these stupid battles, like I never get assists from anybody, which is annoying. Oh, there we go. Ooh. I've been using my Gungans. Gungans pretty much, I mean, in Mandalore, with no platoons active, they were able to take out the open CM, which is kind of cool. That Omicron has paid dividends in TB. I know that they're not everybody's favorites, but, I've said this before. For me, my Omicron usage is all about my time expenditure, and they save me a lot of time to be able to do things on auto, and I would not trade that for the world. feel like I'm at a point where I can auto this battle. Ooh. Anybody have any fun plans while we're getting through these stupid fleet battles? This is my favorite. This is my favorite part of the morning. Usually I do this later in the morning, but we're getting towards lock on certain things, where I can just kind of chat with people. Cap, man, on Discord, like we have that whole library, dude. Like, do it. It's all about time, right? Time is our most valuable resource. So I'm all about trying to find ways that I can shore up that time, right? Like people, I still have a whole phase left to go. Let's see. I have a whole phase that I have to do, and I have 87 waves, right? So like people are telling me that they hit like 95, 100, and that's great. Like this guy Han, who's a good friend of mine, he hits 120. He mostly full manuals. I'm hitting 87 to like 95 on an average. So if I'm hitting 95 out of instead of like the 120, and I drop a few battles, who cares? And usually the dropped battles are in like phase 1 or 2 or 3 where it doesn't even matter. The battles that I know that I can't reliably do on auto, I don't do on auto. If I feel like I have like a 75 to 80% chance on auto, then I go, all right, it is worth it. Executor, right? Yeah. You just have to know your roster, and you have to know what your roster is capable of. That's really the main thing. I know what my roster can do. I know what it can't do, and I just go from there. You must have stepped out. I have 2 level 9s right now. Gungan Bombardier, which I'm a little annoyed about, but it has autoed in Arena a Leia. So like, no, not a Leia. It autoed a Raycron in Arena. I don't remember if maybe I did a Ray too. I was playing with it a little bit last night. So not the one that I want. I'm going to try for another one, hope for the best. And I got a second sister, which I'm kind of annoyed about, and I'm going to re-roll to either get third sister or ninth sister. Third sister to go with, to go with her own team. Ninth sister would be really nice to go with a Lord Vader team. Jar Jar, Boss Nass. I'd be happy with either one of them. I think I'd prefer Boss Nass, though. But either one is fine with me. Oof. Just cannot get the kills today. Yep. I hate this stupid battle so much. Yeah, I mean, I got a decent level 6 for my Inquisitor Cron. I think it's the one where like you can't revive at all. So I am happy with that, but the Ninth Sister one I think is going to give her a lot of health, which is going to make a Lord Vader battle a lot harder for people. So I would like it, and because I didn't need to do any rerolls on that Cron at all, it's at a spot where, like, if my guild does win Territory Wars next round, I will have the reroll mats. But that is asking a lot from my guild, because we're not very Territory Wars oriented. I think we lost the last 2, though, so we might get a cupcake war. Yeah, I would be happy with either. I'd be happy with the Ninth Sister for Lord Vader team. I would be happy with Third Sister for the Inquisitors team. I'd be happy with either one. I don't mind it either way. You know, but I have a whole week of Datacron farming ahead of me because I was able to finish so quickly. So I'm probably going to do pretty okay on Datacrons this time around. I got 5 last time around, 5 level 9s. I think I'll be able to get 5 or 6 at least. I'm just going to put on auto. They can get confusion. I don't care. I did do a couple extra refreshes yesterday after I finished Conquest. I did all of my 100s to get some extra Datacron stuff, which I don't normally do. I never go into the 100s, but I'm on the Gungan train, and I really, really, really want to get that. So I've been pushing a little bit harder towards getting that. All right, now, so Mandalore, kind of cool. The fleet mission, I don't know how reliable it is, but I did auto it with Leviathan last time. So we're going to try again, though. Let's see. Define brunch recommendation. Hungry? Oh man, dude, I don't know where you're from, but I'm from like the North Jersey kind of area, New Jersey, New York area. So we're basically like the diner capital of the world. I'm a huge fan of like going to a diner and getting what they would call, every diner calls it something different, but you'd call it like the big breakfast, and you get like 2 fried eggs, toast, bacon, pancakes, and you get everything. I haven't gone in a long time. I don't know what it costs anymore, but it used to cost like $8, and it was fucking amazing. I'm not an avocado toast guy. Omelets, I love omelets, like a bacon cheese omelet. I like mushrooms in my omelet. I know mushrooms can be decisive for people. Shit. There's this place near me that makes these lemon ricotta pancakes. Don't get me started on food. I love those fucking pancakes. They're great. Cap, I mean, he lives in Japan now, but you were in the same area as me at one point, like a bacon, egg, and cheese on a Sunday morning. I might actually get one today. Like a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup with a hash brown on it. That shit is legit. That's like some good quality after drinking food. It fills you up for the rest of the day. Oh shit, what else? We did like pancake brownies once. We mixed pancake batter and brownie mix together. That was some good shit too. We were really fucked up that night, but that was some good shit. Geez, what else? Brunch foods. I kind of like a turkey club if I'm in the mood for more like the lunchy foods. Oh, dude, you gotta ask Moonborn then, dude. Like he's up in Germany. He'll give you the rundown. But what's simpler than pancakes, man? Like even in a German village, you can get like flour, eggs, and lemons, right? Some flour, some eggs, some oil, maybe some lemon zest in there, a little bit of lemon juice. That's easy. Maybe the ricotta is a little bit harder to get. Man, now I gotta like go on to Twitch and delete comments. Like, really? You guys making me work hard this morning. Alright, we finished that one up. Well, while I'm doing that, I need to record my screen because I didn't get a video of this last time. And I'll go on there and do that in a second. But we're going to throw these Gungans here. No. And I gotta show off the mods because, like, when I do these videos, people are like, oh, what's the modding like? So I have to do this. And, you know what? These videos I do, they don't get a lot of views, but I don't care. The purpose has nothing to do with the views. It has everything to do with just being a resource for people. To be able to easily auto these things. Alright, so we'll pop these guys in. I'll have to go back on Twitch and figure out how to, like, moderate this fucking channel because of asshole spammers. Oof. There we go. Dude, breakfast burrito, I'm all for a breakfast burrito. I can do them, but I mean, I'm gonna need like another hour afterwards for my body to expel it. Definitely do the lemon pancakes sometime in the future. Let me know. I feel you. Where I am, everything closes on Sunday mornings. So we have to prepare Saturdays in advance. We can't like run out and get stuff. So I get that. We Sunday mornings, so we do brunch. My wife is she wakes up late, which is why I get to do this brunch because I like to spend time with her. I don't like to take away from my family time. And we'll end up going to a movie at like 11, 12 o'clock. So usually our breakfast on Sunday, she'll make me drive to Starbucks. And I'll get like egg bites. I prefer to make my own breakfast, but I know that we're probably going anyway, so I might as well do it. Cap, I agree. I don't live in that county anymore, but like where I live, it's I don't even think there's blue laws here. It's just that most places just closed down, so it's not even a requirement anymore. But yeah, like where I grew up, you had the blue laws and everything was closed, and it was such a pain. At least movie theaters are open on Sundays. But back to what you were saying before, we kind of have, it's like, I've said this with Solo Straight, who may or may not be on right now, and we joke about like this multiverse, and it's like the same thing with you and me being so closely tied, and then I'm like Taylor Ham, man, like bacon, egg, and cheese all the way. There we go. Okay, now I can get the rest of my battles in. Let's see. Did they fill this yet? No. We still need to get those two more. Alright. Characters. Get Jabba in there. We got a special roster review that I get to do today that I'm kind of excited for. So I want to like rush to get to those. Oof. It's always funny because some weeks I have like 2 to do, some weeks I have like 8. Speaking of which, Cap, I don't know what your week is like next week, but Monday through Wednesday, my wife is on a business trip. Though I think because it's midweek, you probably are going to do your GAC streams my morning, your night, so it probably wouldn't work. But I'm going to be really bored Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, and I don't know, I'm looking to do something. Maybe I'll just do like a roster review thing, but I'm assuming you'll be working. By the way, guys, don't forget Smuggler's Run 2. I did mine early this morning. It's popped up for all you Jabba fans. It's here. Get it done. Get your mod materials. I'll have to stop in. I mean, my wife will be home, so I don't think I'll be doing anything, but I'll have to stop in, say hi, say happy birthday. Like I say my kids in karate, I can't wish you a happy birthday now, because fuck you if I'm going to see you on Friday, then I'll wish you a happy birthday on Friday. Are you going to get like a crown, like a birthday crown? I think you should do it up and wear it. Who do I want to use? You know what? I'm interested. I know that Night Sisters can do this here, but I'm going to refrain from... Well, I'm going to refrain from my Night Sisters because I want to try them on Mandalore and see how they do. Yeah, dude, get like a birthday crown, like one of those cheap like Burger King ones. Slan, cheers, buddy. We're gonna do some. We're gonna try some Night Sisters on Mandalore if you're interested in seeing that, because I know that you guys did not unlock Mandalore this time around, and I say that mocking you. But you guys do better than us in TB anyway, so I'm kind of like, I'm clowning myself here. You can always be like, hey, how are those 40 stars going? Oh, wait, you don't get that. Yeah, I saw that Merrin was an R8 platoon in Mandalore, and I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to platoon my Merrin this time. But somebody else in my guild, one of our whales, we have like 2 or 3 of them, they have an R8 Marin 2 and they platooned it. So I was like, this is great. I can still use mine. Sopper, good morning. How's it going? Ooh. Might get some nice like little videos today. We'll see how they work. Though it's going to be Night Sisters against Imperial Troopers on Mandalore, so... Yeah, but you know what? I'm doing alright, man. I'm doing good. You know, I was sick a couple weeks ago, and it affected me kind of long term. And I guess I was sick longer than I thought, and people were telling me that, like, a strep can kind of, like, cultivate for a long time. And now I feel great, now that I got those antibiotics. Slan Man, yeah, you know, the thing, though, about Mandalore is, and I was saying, we unlocked it on day 5. We plan on unlocking it in day 4 within a month. because, well, it's an easier mission, and we'll have like 5 to 10 more Bo-Katans. So that's like a 3-day platoon requirement. So it's not as bad as it looks. I think it's going to be like pretty fine. Let's do these guys. You know, like, you really only need like one Tarful if you're doing it over 3 days. You really only need one trench if you're doing it over 2 to 3 days. So we're not too terribly worried about it. I don't think we'll star it this time, you know, because we can only get 1 of 6 platoons right now. But I do think, does Bo-Katan come around before the next TB? I think by the time the next Bo-Katan comes around, we will be able to star it, because we'll be unlocking it on the first day that you can unlock it, and that'll make it a little bit easier for us. And like, I mean, I don't really need the Chirotech as much as, I know that sounds bad to some of you guys who are maybe not at the same level of the game right now, but like, the only characters that I have to gear up are Obi-Wan, who's G11, Queen Amidala, who I'm probably not gonna relic right away, Keller and Beck, and Bo-Katan. And I think I have like 500 to 600 of each Cairo right now. First world problems though, right? Like, yeah, we do the same thing that you guys do, and I know that Rimus was talking about it yesterday in that long text that we had going on. We do the same thing with the potlucks, and our guild, just like you, they're very receptive, and we have a lot of people that volunteer things, and that'll be part of my TB redux that I do. I always do on day 6 after the TB is over, and we've got my platoon guy Quentin, who I added to that text thread, but he's not much of a talker. You know, he'll be on top of that, because that's his part of the platooning. That's his part of the TB, is getting that stuff down. And anybody who's a TB officer here, though, I really do recommend splitting that responsibility of like somebody really focusing on the platoons long term and somebody focusing on the goals long term, and those two people just communicating effectively as often as possible. Okay, so I can do one battle here. I saved, normally I would use my Night Sisters here, right, on the dark side planet, and they're an easy, super easy 2 of 2. But I really want to see if they can beat this mission on auto. I'm not going to hold my breath because it is Imperial troopers. But I want to try it. I want to see how it goes. Again, because this is one of those like videos, gotta actually scroll through my mods. R9 Marin, my first luxury R9 that I've ever done. Now let's just see how this goes. Oof. I'm worried about these TM trains, but you know, we'll check it out. Marin kind of stops some of that stuff. Oof. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Though I guess killing old Daka early is kind of worst case scenario. And I do kind of like seeing worst case scenario early on, because then it kind of helps me to know if an auto is something that is sustainable in the long term. Though, oh shit, they took out Asajj with a Death Trooper. Oof, that's not good. I don't like that. Alright, so that did not work out. Okay, well, that's good to know. Thought there was a chance. That looked like some bad RNG there with who got killed. It looks like it probably can win sometimes, but it's not reliable, right? And I look for reliable autos. That's not one that's going to be reliable. And that's it is what it is. Happy to know it. It was close, right? And that looked like it was probably the worst possible way that battle could go. And because they just kept nailing old Daka pretty early. And that's I like seeing that because it kind of lets me know how things could happen. I could definitely see myself doing that in the future and it going the other way and it winning. But like we have our TV library on Discord, and you're part of that, Slan. I still have to get those videos added. But you guys are part of the council, so you can add your own videos and tag me, and it makes it easier for me anyway. But if it's not something that I feel is reliable, I don't want it added, and I have other options for that battle. So if you were to manual that, it might be interesting and it might be a little bit easier to take out and go slow and steady. All right, let's see. What do we think? Darth Bane lead or Sith Eternal lead? I haven't tried Darth Bane. Well, did I? I think maybe I tried Darth Bane here last time. I don't remember. Count Dooku to G12. Are you doing the C grind? Well, you can't do a two-man. That's the problem, right? Like I would love to. Some battles you can. In neutral, there are a few battles that you can four-man, and Night Sisters you can do a four-man and win on auto, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna just do it. Yeah, let's just do it. Lord Vader. Look, I like Lord Vader. I'm not on the Lord Failure train at all. I think he's just expensive. So I don't recommend him as an early GL for people because he is very expensive and it's hard to justify the cost. But I like him. I think he is the second best conquest unit behind Jedi Master Luke. Slan, I would agree with you there. Like Night Sisters. Again, I tried them on Mandalore. They are purely for research purposes. They are a very easy auto on Haven once you have the platoons. So I will in the future be using them on Haven regardless because I can just it's reliable. Tatooine, yeah, like pretty much anything that has like a mass dispel or like some degree of immunity, can auto tattooing, because you just basically outshine the dots. So like Tuscans can do it because they can't be hit with dots. So very few people have R7 Tuscans. Ray can do it. CLS can do it. Sith Empire can do it because of Malik, as long as you have a decently modded team. Pretty much anybody plus Watt can do it. Night Sisters, Phoenix. There's just so many. SLKR can do it. There's so many teams available for Tatooine that I don't even look anymore for teams that can do it. It's just such a... Lord Vader, I'm sure, can do it because of the way his unique works. If I was able to... Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I'm here for efficiency, right? Other than like Jar Jar, who was like purely a silly for fun thing that I did, everything that I do is to try and be as efficient as possible, and that is what led me to where I am right now, and that's why people tune in sometimes is to listen, and that's why people ask me for my opinions on their rosters, is because I'm looking to help people advance faster. But if you're not having fun playing the game, then it's not worth playing, right? So if you have a fun farm that you want to do that you're going to enjoy, I tell people to go for it. And when I do roster reviews, I ask people about that because I want to work those fun things into their rosters so they can enjoy the game a little bit more. Warlock, good morning, man. I think I just got this one battle left, right? So it is, we'll throw in Sith Assassin, see how this works out. Yeah, that's why people, I'm not Arnold. I'm not dancing around the screen. Sometimes Zavor will get me singing Broadway songs because they get stuck in my head. And I do in my real life. I'm constantly singing and making up songs. But online, it's I like chatting with you guys, and it's very informational, and I want people to kind of learn how to maximize their ability to play the game while minimizing the time investment. And that's kind of where the auto thing comes in hand. And again, as this I think is my last battle, we'll kind of check out what my wave count is afterwards and kind of see, hey, is it worth it, right? Like to auto. So other than total combat, Captain. You probably have R9 JML, right? Because Captain loves his R9 JML. So I hit 100 waves, which is a new high for me. 100 waves, and I only think like 3 combats I did on manual. So 100 waves throughout 6 days, 95% automatically, right? 95% on auto. Like that to me it's worth it. This guy, like, my guy Quentin, who runs the Keegan account, he has the same thing. He's got 100 waves, but he probably did those on manual, right? The Rummy's got 102 waves. He probably did those on manual. Han shot first. I know he's got a little bit more of a robust roster than me, but he probably did that on manual. So 100 waves where I only did 3 of my combats on manual, like that to me it's worth it. Okay, let's see. We need to dump this. Prohibit that for right now. We're going to open this bitch up to focus on that. Yes. That sucks, dude. I that's happened to me before where you get like the preloaded thing. What we do, I've trained my guys really, really, really well. To the point where they know, years ago they'd be like, oh, we're so close, like let me walk it up. But I've trained them well enough now where they kind of know that 2 officers, me and Quentin, we're holding specifically for that, and we deploy last specifically to hold, and we always hold like 10 million for accidents. Because if you tell people like, hey, don't get a star, and 2 or 3 people do things at the same time, it doesn't update at all, and you can accidentally hit that star. So we always put the goal at the end to be like 10 million below, for a preload, just for that just in case sake. Dank, yeah. After I do my raid, we are going into these roster reviews. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10. I actually have 11 people on my docket. We're not getting to all 11 today, which sucks. But we'll see how many of those that we can reliably get through. I haven't had this many people in my queue for roster reviews in weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I like when I'm able to finish out my entire queue in one day. But there was just too much going on in the game today, which is why I cut out the conquest portion. Because I wanted to be able to get to as many reviews as I possibly could. The Gungan team is... Do I like... What is a dono review? Like donuts? Do you allow dono review? I don't even know what that means. Stream all day. Yeah, I play until my wife wakes up. Redbox Conquest? I redboxed... Slan, man, I redboxed yesterday morning. 136 battles. I tracked it, I tracked it meticulously. The first conquest in this section, I did in 195 battles. The last conquest I did 100. The last conquest I did in 100 donation reviews. So Dank, I'll talk to you about that in a second. This last conquest I did in 136. We have not seen that in a very, very, very long time. Being able to hit it that early, and I actually did not get the best luck with this set of data discs versus like team compositions. 136 battles. Normally, on a Sunday morning, I'll just run my battles even though I can auto them. Just to kind of chat with you guys and talk about the game a little bit more. But I didn't want to do that today because I wanted to get to be able to do as many reviews as possible. Who was saying, Khan, Gungans are great. Listen, we talked about this when it comes to like fun farms. If that is a fun farm for you, you got to do what you got to do. Gungans were a fun farm for me. Getting them all to R9 is not the most... it's not the smartest thing in the world. They really only needed to be R8 except for Jar Jar. But it was something I wanted to do for fun. It was a challenge to be able to do it without having to spend any money, and to see if I could do that, and we were able to do that, which was really nice. Dank, as far as donation roster reviews, everything that I run, I don't know if you're on our Discord or not. But it's in my YouTube show notes. It's in my YouTube profile. It's in my Twitch profile. All of my roster reviews are donation based. I don't charge for them. I do ask people if they're able to, if they're in a good financial position to do so, to send me whatever they feel like it was worth. And people usually, if they're in that position, like, I'd say my average is like $10 to $15. But I don't pressure people. I never ask people about it openly. I do believe the information should be freely available. And I know, there's high school kids, there's college kids, there's people with like 3 kids of their own who just are not in that position. And I want them to be able to get that information as well. I do have, on YouTube, we have the YouTube, I don't know what they call it, like club, the Egnards verse. one of the perks on the Egnards verse is kind of like a priority queue for donations for roster reviews, so that I could add some kind of cool thing for people there. And once Moon and I finish up like the merch stuff, there'll probably be like merch discounts through there too. We're just very picky about what we want to do because we want it to look good. We don't want it to be like the low grade shit merch that I feel like most people who stream end up putting out just to make a buck. We have some cool designs that he has been working on, and I have just been pit storming out. Yeah, man, I'll take a look when I finish the raid. Get these guys done. Gotta hit my 10 million. That's all I really care about. My next team is my favorite team, and by the way, I do appreciate it, man. Like, I call it my beer fund, and sometimes it does go towards beer. But my wife and I, we just bought a house about a year ago, and a lot of the times I'm just pushing as much as I can towards my mortgage because interest rates suck, and I hate paying as much as I do a month because of the area that we live in. It's not fun. So every dollar counts. Soper, is this your first hard one, Sector 3? Or is it like one of your first hard conquests? And like what team? Because if you have like a CLS team is like a really good core team for conquest. Right now, because there's no Ruthless Swiftness, it's not as great, but it's still a great team. JML is obviously the gold standard for conquest and being able to beat things and push ahead. BAM is a nice team if you don't have a full CLS. Okay, so I mean, listen, Sector 3 is not bad. You know, I talk about things like maxing it, but like I'm at a different point in the game than you are, you know, so that's not bad at all as long as you're hitting that first crate. And you have a whole week left. Ooh, I should have used these special, but I wasn't paying attention. Almost at 70. I'll hit auto. My next team is my favorite for the raid. It's probably not the most ideal team. I don't particularly care because it gets me what I want to do. But the nice thing about it is that it's like full auto because there's no useful abilities on the team. Let's pop this up. Yeah, I haven't gotten to try Padawan, Obi-Wan yet, because mine's G11. Like, I don't have the resources right now, as you can imagine, to have put the amount of time and energy towards him. Because I spent so much of my resources towards Gungans. I do think people should be careful with the Omicron. I did a video on the Omicron, I think it's like 10 minutes long, where we kind of broke down, I looked at all of the conquests in the last 2 years and tracked all of the buffs and the debuffs that were in those last conquests. And I think that his Omicron is kind of, it looks a lot better than it is unless they fundamentally change Conquest. I think people are going to get a lot less out of it than they think they are. So hopefully you didn't apply it. But I do think there is a niche community of people who are maybe at that 4 to 5 million and really low in Conquest. That could benefit. Celery, good morning. Thank you for joining us for brunch, my favorite. It's my favorite time of the week. I do look forward to brunch every week. It is one of my favorite things. Oof. As long as you were in the know, you know, as long as you had all the information, apply it. You know, I'm not telling people don't apply it, I guess, or maybe I was, but I just want people to have the information and make their own choices. So if you watch that video and you're still like, okay, I'm okay with it, then great, then go for it. Black Knight, I haven't seen you in a little bit. Good morning. Yeah, I was disappointed though this morning just because I forgot to get orange juice. So I kept saying mimosas, but it's actually a screwdriver because it was vodka and orange juice. I need to make sure to get orange juice today when we go to the grocery store, so I can have some for next week. Last week I was drinking soju. I still have some soju. When I after the raid, I'm gonna take a quick get more coffee break. Maybe I'll pour some soju for the morning. I do like brunch as a meal just because there's a lot of options. Datacron testing. Oh God, it's important. Datacron testing is important. I get that, and I appreciate you guys who do all the testing so that I don't have to. Oh, all right, dude. Yeah. So, you know what the problem is, Smalls? I get when you guys have different names on Discord versus the streams, I get confused. And I thought that Black Knight, as in you, was I don't want to dox anybody, but from the meetup that we did like a month or two ago. I thought it was one of the group of roommates. I didn't realize that was you. So I talk to you every day. So now I know. Got it. Now I'm less confused. This is why I'm Egnards everywhere. So that I don't. So that I don't confuse anybody, you know. But now we're on the same page. Yeah, I think. So I was listening to the Three Scoundrels yesterday morning. They were talking about the Padme Cron and the teams that they might put it with. I am interested in it. You know, I'm trying to get as many level 9s as I can this time around without spending excess materials, you know, just doing my normal 50s. Right now I have like a mediocre Gungan one. I have probably the shittiest of the Inquisitor ones. I would like to get a Padme one because she is who I have in the Galactic Republic team. I would like to get another Inquisitor one to get a better one. Really, you need 2 Inquisitor ones anyway at the high end because Third Sister and Ninth Sisters are on fundamentally completely different teams. And then it's Inquisitors, it's Gungans, Inquisitors, Gungans, Galactic Republic. Who else is in this set? Is there anybody else? Inquisitors, Gungans, Galactic Republic. Somebody who pays more attention to Datacrons than me. Help me out here. Oh, SLKR. So, First Order. I would like the Special Forces TIE Pilot one, which would be really nice. I know Stero did a ton of testing on it, and he got a shout out. He's one of our creators on our Discord, and he got a shout out from Arnold, which is kind of cool for his testing videos. And it's kind of convinced me to try to go for that one too. Ooh, shit, I gotta go on auto. Right. Soper, that's why, so I work two jobs. I have a business, I work a job, I'm constantly busy. That's why I do like my conquest, I do it all at 5:30 in the morning. Which is my normal wake up time. It's not like I get up early to do it. This is where I just hit auto on these ones. I do all of my refreshes. All of my refreshes happen right in the morning. I just try to get as much done as I possibly can, so that I only have to deal with it one time throughout the day. Why are you refusing to get the Special Forces TIE Pilot one? That doesn't seem like you, Cap. You're always on the pulse of whatever the best is. And you're the one extolling the virtues of like Jedi Master Luke at R9 and my ridiculous refusal to get him. Okay, I think we go down here now, right? Should have two battles. Ah, okay. That makes sense then. That's fair. It's not really a refusal so much as it is, it doesn't apply to you. I'm the same way. I don't increase relics for Datacrons either. I'm not going to increase relics for something that is temporary. Especially with the release cadence we have had recently. You know, at my point in the game, I'm trying to always stay on the pulse of things. I don't get things first run generally, except for Gungans. I do wait till they're farmable, but I am on the pulse enough that that I am farming whatever new thing is out. So I usually don't have relic materials to bring toward. Oh, that sucked. Oh, I already got my goal, so it doesn't fucking matter. Dude, Smalls, man, I gotta tell you, it blows my mind every time. I know, like, because you did the Gungans, and you're at a little bit of a lower account than I am, but you still pulled it through for Jar Jar, so I know you were hurting on gear, but for me, it always blows my mind when people can't take a GL to, like, R7 right away. And that's, like, a first world problem, where I'm like, how do you not do that? Like, that's always, like, the first thing on my mind is making sure. But I know that you are a Jar Jar fan, and you kind of, like, jumped on something that you probably normally wouldn't be in a position to jump on. Slant, I mean, it's a good point. He is a pilot. The way that I see it is, the way that I set up my defense, people rarely go towards the top. So I actually, and I shouldn't say this, but I guess you could find it on .gg anyway, I don't set a strong fleet composition, so I put all my GL on defense, but not all of my GL ships on offense. So I don't really need first order typically. Alright, that's it for the raid. I got my stuff. There needs to be like a get all button up here. Let's just check out how we are doing in territorial battles. Man, these fuckers, like GMY and Jedi Knight Luke should be filled. I know that we have them. Okay. So we're going to just change these goals really quick. Right, you can see I use a first, next, last system to make things easy for people. This, we don't actually have to do it all. We'll say that this is next, say 475. Mandalore, we'll definitely at least get that where it needs to be. Yeah, we got our smugglers run too. I got mine. I finished mine. Let's just kind of pull this up real quick. I have been using my Gungans as like my relic, my speed mod kind of feed through. I need to get Boomadir a little bit faster. Alright, I mean, I'll take protection. It's not what I want, but I'll take the protection. Again, not... It's fair, though. Health. I don't need defense. They really just want me to get protection on my Boomadir. Like, really? Daniel, good morning. Welcome to Brunch. No, we don't want to use them. Jar Jar, it's a shitty... Alright, well... Phalanx doesn't really need to be that fast. So we will... get his protection. Oh, okay, I mean... Plus 12% protection. I mean, I can't... I guess I can't complain. The thing about Boomadir, I've been finding with my Gungans, like, defense would normally be great for a tank, but really it's all about the shield generator. So I don't really feel that I need... Nice, did you get the good one? Okay. So I don't need my phone right now. We're going to pop the phone source off. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go on Discord here. I'm going to go to my guild Discord before I do anything else. My last tag was at 750. Hit both in one kill, so... We are going to set up a deployment here. Notify, yes. And then I need to pull these fuckers who are not doing their stuff. The Thicron. I'm gonna wait for this to tag. Once I finish this message and once my notify comes out and I tag this, I'm gonna take a super fast break. Seriously, like, oh, the tags don't work that way. Just to go to the bathroom, grab myself a little bit more coffee, maybe pour myself a little bit of soju, and then we're gonna get into our roster reviews for today. All right, so give me 2 minutes, and I'll be right back, and we're going to do those reviews. All right. Ooh. Look at me hitting all the wrong sources. Okay. Got myself some more espresso. Got myself my bottle of soju. I don't know if any of you guys have had soju before, but it's pretty good. Tastes great. It's like a nice, like flavored light, kind of like sake. The first time my brother came back from Korea, he got me some other Korean drink that was like a Korean whiskey thing, but it's red. It was one of the worst things I've ever had before, but soju, that shit's legit. I don't need a Discord source for this first roster review. We're going to do Dank. We'll get you in there. You know, a little bit of priority. I do appreciate the beer money. So we'll throw GG up right away. We got Senator Dankertan now. You are here. I'm assuming still here, hopefully, because I'm doing it now. Normally on Discord, I have people fill out like a whole survey thing. So I'm going in a little bit more blind than usual, but I'm seeing... oh, there you are. Kyber 2, so a higher end account. As far as sake, man, that was my first drink that I enjoyed. I remember being like 19, and I hated beer. I hated Bud. Like, this was when I'm 30, almost 37, so like we're talking 16, 17 years ago, when there really weren't that many craft beers. Like Sam Adams was considered craft, and Blue Moon was considered craft. And obviously the whiskeys we were drinking at that age were gross. They were the worst of the worst. And like the tequila was Jose Cuervo, the worst of the worst. And I hated all of it. It was so awful. My first love was sake. It was nice and light. And we did it the old school way, right? Where you heat it up and you have hot sake. But I found out over the years, and I don't know if you know this, but sake is actually supposed to be chilled. And hot sake is for like shit grade sake. And I think that started, and Cap, if he's still around, I know you live in Japan, maybe you know more about this than I do, and maybe this is something that's false. But it kind of started, as far as I was told, around World War II when rice was rationed and sake wasn't so great, and they would heat it up to make it kind of lose that really shitty flavor. That's how I was taught it. But there's this great bottle that I buy. It's only like $20. It's called Black and Gold. And it's amazing. Just not even chill, even room temperature. It's so smooth. I love it. But anyway, you're distracting me from your own roster review. Cascade, good morning. Yeah, cooking wine. It's like a Marsala wine. Yeah, man, like that's... I say this all the time. Maybe this is just tequila time, and tequila gets a bad reputation because like everybody's first tequila drink is Jose Cuervo in like a bar, right? And it's gross. It's got this awful burn. It has this weird aftertaste. So everyone thinks they hate tequila, but tequila, if you get something even in like the $30 to $50 range, something that's a little bit higher end but not price prohibitive, like it's pretty smooth too. It still has that like agave aftertaste, but like it's not bad when it's not burning going down. I like talking about alcohol, and I at least think that I'm not an alcoholic, but I do like the culture behind it and having a drink and pairing different drinks with different foods. And I've had mezcal a few times, absolutely. I've never bought it here in New York, but I did have a friend go to Mexico a few years ago and they brought me back a bottle. It definitely is better, at least the bottle that I had. All right, let's see. I'm getting distracted, man. We got a Kyber 2 account, current rank, profundity 2. It looks like we got like a little bit... everything is sipping. I don't take shots anymore. I'm almost 27. I'm almost 37. If you're doing shots at 37, you're doing something wrong. Stop. Just stop. If you're doing shots at 37 and it's not like a special occasion, one shot for the night, you're an alcoholic. Now, Dank, I'm looking at this and I see that you're all over the place with your fleet ranks. Does that have to do with your inability to get into the top 5, or does that have to do with just time? Yeah, I got really effed up on cheap whiskey once, and I couldn't drink whiskey for a very long time after that. But I'm glad I got over that because I have started to get into whiskeys. Pretty well, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I used to be more of a rum guy, and I have probably still like 20 bottles of rum downstairs, different rums. All right, so we're past the point of what I normally tell people to go for, right? So Jedi Master Luke, Rey, Jabba, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I don't really care about SLKR, but like I'm assuming you got the Lightspeed bundle. Jabba, Jedi Master Luke is kind of where we're at. Just to save you some time, let's check this out. Bounty Hunters, you should be doing CT3 on Rebel Roundup, no doubt. Military Might should be CT3. And correct me if I'm wrong on any of these. Yeah. Military Might should be... I'll get back to that point in a second. Military Might should be CT3. Ground War should be CT3. You should... Well, do you have Third Sister? Doesn't look like we have Third Sister yet. Okay. Let's check out these guys. Where the hell are they? I can't count. All right, your Night Sisters, believe it or not, if you invest in them, Fat Phil, I think it was, sent me a message about last week about a Night Sister team he saw do CT3. If you remod these guys, you could probably do CT3 with them. Maybe you have to bring Oldaka up like 2 or 3 more relic levels. It will be tough, but I've seen it done. The one he showed me was like an R5 Oldaka and G12 everybody else. Marin makes that possible. It still would be hard, but you should at least be doing CT2 right now with that team. If not, you need to remod for it. 25 away from third. Okay, so that's good to know because when I look at this, you're probably not doing CT3 of Forest Moon yet, but with Third Sister, you should be able to do that. So that shouldn't be a problem. Which ones are we missing here? 1, 2. You have SLKR, so you should be doing Places of Power at CT3. And I'm definitely missing one. So let's see. Rebel Roundup, Places of Power, Forest Moon, Military Might. Oh, and Fanatical Devotion. So Fanatical Devotion right now you should be doing at CT2. You'll be at CT3 in no time. Well, you're in good order where you are, but I would definitely experiment with your Night Sisters. If you're not already doing at least CT2. But you know what? I do want to look at your guild too because of where you are in the game. 416. Are you sold on your guild? Actually, before I talk about your guild, so in terms of your fleet payout being right after you get out of work, so it's probably hard for you to do those battles. I get that. Some days my work does end right around the same time. It's kind of why I like Leviathan. If you throw Mark 6 into the opening lineup of a Leviathan, you can put it on auto and win about 90% of the time. I know you're not there yet, but I kind of do the same thing. You know, I throw, while I'm at work, I sneak off to the bathroom, I start the battle, and then I just walk out and I continue working so that I can get a little bit closer around my fleet payout. And if you're not talking with your fleet Discord, I would reach out to them, because that can usually mean that you're dropping less. Am I offering a spot? No, man, I don't have any. Well, I do have a spot available right now, but it's to replace a very lazy whale. So I'm looking for someone at like 11.5 to 12 for him. But my question is, are you sold on your guild? Just because it seems like you could be in a better guild. At 8 million, being Reva ready, having Riva really soon, I could see you being in like a 500 million guild without too much effort. You know, I'm in like a 565 or so. You're not going to get up that high, but I could see you being a little bit higher than you are right now. It looks like Raid, you should be doing a little bit better, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Probably not over prioritized. I get that. My guild didn't over prioritize that. My fleet, yeah. Well, you see, that's why it's good to kind of start early with your fleet Discord and relationships. I was just saying this to somebody this morning. It's better to be in a fleet, at least in my opinion, it's better to be in a fleet Discord and play nice. Okay, so I always ask that. I always ask if people are willing to leave their guild or they're really happy with their guild, because it kind of lets me know where to go, right? If you're really happy with your guild, I keep that in mind when I'm talking about where you should be going, because it's in relation to what your guild is doing. And people who are like, no, I am looking, I keep that in mind because there might be a different path for them. But that's why I ask. I never tell people to leave their guild if they're happy. So for me, at least, when it comes to fleets, I would rather rotate with somebody and lose 25 to 50 crystals each day, because it's less effort for me, right? People who are constantly like fighting for first, they're doing refreshes and they're wasting all of these crystals and all of these extra battles for no reason, when hitting second or hitting third is going to give them the exact same outcome. So like last night I took second. I didn't even bother going for first. It's not worth it to me. But the thing to keep in mind for people is you only have to be in first place. You only have to be in first place for literally a minute a day. And taking up that slot longer than you need to be, you know, can piss people off, and other people aren't advancing, and it is definitely better to kind of like help people out, because now you're suffering, right? Because other people are advancing and you're struggling to get ahead. I would try to throw out an olive branch, reach out to the Discord, be like, hey, like I'll take my last licks or whatever, but that's up to you. It'll make your life easier if you start to try and repair that relationship, you know, with your fleet Discord. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, so we don't need to be looking at the guild anymore. Yeah, I mean, that's great. My guild does not do as well as yours does in TW, but we also don't prioritize it. So you're currently, you either finished Ray and she's just low gear right now and I didn't see her, or you're ticket farming for her right now. Let's see. Inquisitor, good. Where are we on Leviathan? Bo-Katan, Jar Jar. Interesting. All right, let's check out some of this stuff in here. We got Malgus. We don't have Malgus yet. How close are you on Malgus? And Bane. Malgus. And Fury class. Okay, so you are kind of putting some priority towards Gungans. You know, I tell people that once you get JML and once you get Jabba, there is a little bit more leeway to do what you want. Because that kind of builds up your, and then Gungans. That kind of builds up your ROI. So your ROI on your account is pretty solid right now, which allows you to do the things that you want to do, even if it's not the most 50. All right, so you're close. 50 shards of Malgus. Be an interesting novel. What about Fury class? Oh, you do have Ray. All right. I for some reason skipped over Ray, so you do have Ray. I thought maybe you were ticket farming because I didn't see her before, so you got both of those things. Just, I'm assuming you did something with Obi-Wan. All right, what's my TB guy saying while I wait? Oh, we're just making fun of one of our guildmates. It's crazy not to have Darth Revan at this level, though. It's almost like that's silly to me, but I mean, and you're putting, I guess, some money towards Obi-Wan, right? Yep, you are. Okay, so you're like gung-ho on that Queen Amidala team, so that's fine. Again, the only real important question, you know, before I can kind of let you, kind of give you targeted advice, is just is knowing the shards for Fury class, and it doesn't have to be exact. Just a an estimate would be good. Bane and Conquest, you'll be unlocking this Conquest. Okay. While I wait on that info, let's see what we got. Yeah, I gotta do Taron Malicos. Actually, let's see what Omicrons you're missing. Iden doesn't matter. Yes, but Dank, focus. Fury class. Fury class. Fury class. How many shards, please? Oof. Killing me. Drogon. Interesting. Rebel officer, maze. $70-ish left or 70-ish you have? I'm assuming 70-ish left. I understand that. I understand not having loyalty, but this is where Leviathan is important to you. Is that because you get off work towards the end of your fleet payout, you can use Leviathan to auto those battles, right? So that you can do it while working. I don't give a shit about Sith Empire either. Like they're meaningless to me. There's very few farms in this game where I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited for it. Merrin was one of them. Jar Jar was one of them. Everything else, I'm like, take it or leave it, right? Kyle Katarn is a favorite character of mine, but I didn't even prioritize him either. I give zero shits about Sith Empire, but what's important to me is how easy they make a lot of things for me. So it's not about love for Fury class so much as it makes climbing a lot easier where I don't have to do anything, you know, like with Mark 6 in that opening lineup, I can hit auto, and 90% of the time I'm going to win. Yeah, I mean, I screwed up my payout once too, and it sucked for like a 6-month period. But if it's possible, you know, even moving in an hour can be really advantageous if you don't want to go for. You can do it twice a year, yes, and that's to coincide with daylight savings time. So there's a couple things. One, it seems like you have a very set path for your account right now. So when I talk about like where to go with your account, it's not that I'm talking to a wall. I'm talking to someone that has a defined path, right? You're like, I want to do this, which makes it hard to give you advice. And that's not a criticism, because do with what you want with your account. Have fun with your account. I would definitely, I wouldn't have prioritized Padawan Obi-Wan, and I'm not prioritizing him. He's clearly one of your favorite characters. I get why you did it. You're clearly putting some priority towards Gungans. I obviously did prioritize Gungans. I R9'd them all. I don't necessarily think I would have done it in your position either, but you've already invested quite a lot into them by relicking Boss Nass and getting Tarples. He's now 6, and the other guys are a little bit higher. So it's not where I would have taken the account, but it's okay that you're doing it because you are past to the point where ROI matters. You have the ROI. I personally would be going towards Leviathan. There's a couple of reasons why. Number one, we don't know what the next fleet is going to be. We don't even know if there's going to be a next fleet. A lot of people are actually thinking that we're not going to get a new fleet commander, but we are going to get a new fleet event. So like something that lifts an existing fleet, but is still tough to get, like a GL fleet battle thing. So kind of like Millennium Falcon back in the day, you needed 4 bounty hunters at, I think, G12, which was a big deal at that point in the game. They're thinking maybe Red 5 will lift the Rebels, and you're going to need a bunch of things. A lot of people have been talking about Dengar getting a shift and lifting Executor. But the important thing to keep in mind is that Leviathan required 2 R9s and 2 Conquest characters. That was a huge expenditure. It was pretty friendly to veteran players because those veteran players were already getting these characters. But it is an overall very hard farm to go towards if you weren't doing those things. What that means is that whatever comes next is likely to be as the same in terms of difficulty or going to be harder. Some people are theorizing Trench. Now, the thing is, though, and at this point, the 3 scoundrels, Bones, Logan, they kind of brought this up in their last episode, is that right now we're at a point with ships that there aren't that many spare ships left, right? They had to add another resistance ship to get every fleet to 5 ships. So it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard for them to add a new capital ship without throwing 3 to 5 marquees at us. And that's fine. Maybe they will do that. Maybe they'll choose to do that. But it makes the idea of a new capital ship a little bit less likely to me, even though I do believe that there will be a meta shift. And it will be a meta shift that's going to cost crystals. All I'm saying is you may or may not be in a position where that is advantageous to go through first. What we do know is that the second to newest fleet meta so far has always been able to counter the newest fleet meta, right? They've kind of always done that. Even Executor can beat Leviathan. It's not the easiest battle in the world, but if you know the strategy, it is beatable. So the way that I see it is Leviathan becomes the safer route for you, where it's a known, okay? You are unlocking Malgus pretty soon. You are unlocking Fury class pretty soon. You are pushing towards Darth Revan, right? So you're going to kind of build that out. And whether or not you like Sith Empire as like a favorite fleet, again, like I don't give a shit about Sith Empire. They're me. I honestly, every one of you is going to like leave the stream when I say this, but I didn't think KOTOR was the greatest game in the world, and I was playing RPGs like it was my job back when it came out. Those were my favorite game style. At the time, it was a good game, but there was nothing in it to me that felt like super powerful. So I had no love or hate. I'm very neutral on them, but I'm gonna get them because it is largely a very strong team, and it kind of does a couple things actually. You're unlocking Bane, who's amazing. I've never read the Bane book. I don't care. He looks cool and he's strong. A lot of people who go for Leviathan, they get their Sith Assassin to like R7, R8 to make the battle more reliable. Goes great with Darth Bane, because Darth Bane only needs a really strong Sith ally. That's it. Like, the higher the relic levels, the better. That's all he needs. So it's kind of working in tandem. So if I were to say anything to you, obviously continue the Queen Amidala form, because you've already invested so much into it. Whether it was crystals or money is irrelevant. It doesn't matter to me. Spend on what you want to spend on. That's your decision. You've already invested so much into it. Continue that trend for the Queen Amidala team. I would say continue the Gungan team, just because you haven't, I'm assuming, invested a ton, but you've already put enough resources into it that I do feel like it is something that you should work towards. I think that finishing the Queen Amidala team and finishing the Gungan team will bring you into the next couple of months. And that's actually good for you, because we'll know more, I believe, about whatever the next fleet is by the time you're ready to make the decision. I think that right now, Leviathan is the safer choice for you. But because Gungan's going to take you a couple months with having to finish farming Bombardier and Phalanx, that by the time that happens in like June, July, we'll have the requirements or the known for whatever's up next. And you'll be able to make the choice of, am I in the position to go for the next fleet? Or am I in a better position to go for Leviathan? I don't think you should sleep on Leviathan just because you're not a Sith Empire loyalist. I think that largely you should heavily consider it, but you are in a unique position where you can wait a little while, simply because we're at a point where that information should be coming out relatively soon, right? Like that's something to kind of keep in mind. You know, you said, well, when you come, like, I can check your speeds, but there's nothing we can do about, you know, your speeds. Let's see what your mod speeds are. You said you unlocked Jabba relatively recently, right? You should be seeing... Why so much speed on Bodhi Rook? Is this a favorite character? You have a 20... Oh God. You have a plus 29... No, 25. Okay, thank God. But still... Like, is he a favorite character of yours? I would not have this much speed on Bodhi Rook. There's so many better characters to be putting speeds on. Like, so many. Hold on, let me... give you a comparison. We'll throw up my .gg as well so you can kind of see it. Yeah, but there's no... Your pilots don't need to be zooming. So I don't know if you know this, but your ships do not benefit from the actual speeds. Doesn't matter. Ships do not benefit... And he's not a pilot. Well, he is a pilot, but he's not a pilot. He doesn't have a ship. He should have a ship. But your pilots do not benefit from the actual stats on a mod. They only benefit from the blips. So you want 6E mods on pilots. Okay? But you don't need actual stats on them. So for some of you who maybe don't fully know that, let's see, mod speeds. Right, so like my Lord Vader and your Bodhi Rook are roughly the same plus speed, which is just insane to me. He's on your SAW team, yeah, but like doesn't, like that Datacron, it's still out for like a month or two, or it's gone? Isn't his Datacron gone? It's not doing any benefits for you. It doesn't. I would be investing that speed so many different places. Like Mara Jade for a Ray counter would be. You want her at like 330. Mine's not even at 330. I think she's at like 329, annoyingly. But you want her at like really high speeds. I would be investing. Oh God, Bodhi Rook. I definitely take that shit off of. I don't see anything else like egregious here. Embo, maybe I'd put somewhere else. Yeah, but so here's my question: is it because of your Bodhi Rook speed? I'm not saying your Saw team is bad, but does Bodhi Rook need to be that fast for your Saw team? Like, what extra benefit is Bodhi Rook being at plus 177 giving you? I just. I'm gonna tell you, it's not where I'd be putting my speed. Like, even. The thing with speed, though, is. It's fine. Look, that's the thing when it comes to like your own thing versus somebody else's thing. He might be your highest holds in GP, and maybe he's really helping your team because of that. But I just see better benefits to that speed being on other teams. And are they your highest hold team because of his speed, or is it because you're not adequately modding other teams? Right? Like, is it because other teams don't have the speed that they need to have in order to highly function? But with that said, you just unlocked Jabba a month ago. You are going to hopefully see significant speed increases in the near future. By the way, Seven Sister sucks. No, sorry, I looked at that wrong. I read Second Sister for whatever reason. Ignore that. Ignore that. I do think you'll largely see a huge increase in your speed mods in the short term as you get your Jabba in order and as you're doing Smuggler's Run 2, which came out today. And I would be investing more speed into some of your GL teams. Like this plus 10 speed mod on Jabba, I would definitely throw that somewhere else. That might actually not be a terrible Gungan Squad mod until you find something better because of all of that protection. I would definitely try to ramp up Mara Jade a little bit. I think that Captain Amazing would scream, and he would roast you over some of the speed choices. What is it? Saw team is on defense, for him. We can kind of look at his. I don't really look at GAC history often, but let's see what his defense. Let's see what we're beating, what people are throwing at it. So nobody. Yeah, and that's fine as long as you're like, hey, I like him. I got a solo straight. I'll show you. One of my friends on Discord. He's on here a lot of the times. Defense. He also likes Bodhi Rook as one of his favorite characters. You just have to own up to it and say, yeah, it's because he's a favorite character. So like the Night Sisters beat them, even with the Charut Kron. Right, yeah, that's your defense. So an easy win with those. Did they even have the Marin Omicron? if I can tell if they have the Omicron from here, because I don't have insights. No, I can't tell. I don't think it tells you. It's not where I'd go with it. Listen, and he didn't really even get the holds this last season. Night Sisters took it out. I love my Night Sisters for that reason. Let's see this week. Saw. You know, this time they didn't even attack it. Looks like. Oh, that's attack. Let's go to defense. Well, this guy probably didn't attack it either, because he won battle, and just gave up at that point. And he quit, and then he gave up. If you like him, you like him. Own up to that. I think you'll see a huge increase in your speed mods going forward in the next couple of months. What I would say, you know, hey Moon, good morning. What I would say is, because of the unique position that you're currently in, there's not too terribly much that I can offer you other than to say don't sleep on Leviathan. But again, because of where your Gungans are and your Queen Amidala, I think you'll be in a good position between those two teams to wait until we get the fleet information to decide who to go after at that point. So I would really just stay the course, and with your Smugglers Run 2 income, I would really consider bringing up your GL speeds, and I think you'll see more holds from those GLs in the future if you build that up. What I would tell you is head to our Discord, talk to Captain Amazing. He's like the GAC guy, and he will give you like really targeted GAC advice. Like, he'll go in depth on your GAC stuff. Like, that's his thing. And he is at your GP level, and he's been doing crazy stuff. And he's gonna beat me in GAC in no time, and I've got 11.6 mil. You know, but because of where you're at and because of the resources you've invested so much into what you have right now, that's really all I can offer you at this point, other than to say, come back in 3 months and say, all right, now that we know, now that we know what's going on with fleets, what do you think I should do with my fleet? And then I'll tell you which one I think is a better option for you. But I think you have to stay the course on Queen Amidala and Gungans just because of where you're at. One short-term thing I would recommend is don't sleep on Zori. Zori is an incredible team. Get that Omicron. You already have Rey, so you have her whole team available. Don't sleep on Zori. It's a super fast, quick thing to do. I would highly recommend that as a short-term. Right, but there's not too terrible much I can offer you other than that because of the position that you are currently in. So we're going to kind of move on from there. And if you check back in 2 or 3 months when we have that information, I will tell you, hey, this is what's going on, and this is where I think you would go. And you'll be in a better position to hear that advice. So we got a special one here, Vaanced, who is, you know, Vaanced is who Vaanced is. For those of you that know him, you know him. For those of you that don't, it's either lucky or not lucky, depending on how you look at it. He's an interesting fellow. Let's drop down this. We'll go into Discord. Scroll up. Where is Van? Oh, there he is. Oh, Vance. He's not coordinating with your fleet Discord yet. No. All right, Vance, you need to coordinate with your fleet Discord, though you are not the best communicator, so maybe that's not the best idea. CT2 on 1, 2, 3, 4, on 4 of them. 5 at CT. Ground Wars, 1-star CT1. Fanatical Dotion 0. I'm working on JMK and have 8 requirements done. 1 is the only thing I have left is 7-star, but I'm basically there. And I'm also getting Marin to G12. After JMK, I'm going to farm Inquisitors, although I was considering stopping my JMK farm now to work on Inquisitors instead because every guild wants them, but JMK would probably help me overall. I only have 100 cat shards though. I want DR and Malik eventually, and I need to gear my Jedi Knight Revan because I've had him for over a year and he's still G8. That's crazy. I don't know which GL to go after JMK because I've done all the easy ones. I've pretty much just been avoiding anything with a lot of ship requirements. I'm not really dead set on anything, but I should probably finish JMK. How high? So far, fun higher, but I probably need to focus more on efficiency. I want Bad Batch and Maul, or Bad Batch and LV, but I'm ages off of Maul. So Vance, we've chatted in the past, and I know that you are not a big fan of ships, but I was the one who convinced you like you have to go for Executor. This was probably like 8 months ago that we had this discussion, and I hopefully convinced you to do it. Ships win things, and I know that they suck to farm because they never accelerate, but they are largely really, really helpful to getting people where they need to be. It looks like you maybe ignored my my desire to tell you to go for Executor, which is disappointing. Let's just see. Why are you? Oh my God, Vaanced. Why Vaanced? Why? Use your Executor. Why? You had to have unlocked it. Like, I don't want a headache at this point in the morning, guys. Let's just make sure that he listened to me and he yeah, dude, like you have a 5-star Executor. You should be at least getting top 50 easily without he exists to piss me off. That's Vance, you need to be using your Executor. You can get into the top 50 without even trying. Like literally without even trying. I know that you hate ships, so I'm not even telling you to take one every day, but I am telling you to get in the top 50 at least. That should not be a problem. You have everything that you need. Bring Beskar Mando to R5, please. But otherwise, you have everything that you need. I would really highly recommend starting to focus on at least 2 or 3 ships at a time, slow and steady. I know you hate doing it, but if you start it now, you'll eventually get it done. God, Vaanced. This is such a Vaanced thing to do. Such a Vaanced thing to do. I know Vaanced is a younger guy. I don't want to dox where he's from, but he is a younger guy. We need to maybe have a GoFundMe to get him some Lightspeed bundles to help him out a little bit. Maybe get him Ray pretty easily. Just a kid in a bad way. Okay. Profundity. Alright, let's check some of this stuff out. Which ones are we doing at CT1? CT2, CT1. Secrets and Shadows is CT1. I'm not even going to look at it. CT1 is fine for Secrets and Shadows. Inquisitors, we don't have farmed up yet. Ground War, we have at CT1. Let's check that out. Jedi Knight Revan, Grandmaster Yoda, General Kenobi, Jedi Knight Anakin. Honestly, if you take the time to bring Jedi Knight Revan to at least G12, which is literally all core gear, that CT1 should be a reliable 3-star. With Jedi Knight Revan as the lead, General Kenobi, Grandmaster Yoda, Jedi Knight Anakin, and maybe Kyle Katarn. That CT1 should be reliable. And CT2 if you really take the time and mod it properly. But that 1-star kind of sucks. I know that doing those 1-stars is no fun. I want to check out this. Chupio, Commander Luke. Do we have no Mon Mothma yet? I mean, and again, Chewbacca, Han Solo, Chupio, you should be able to see 3-star this as well with your CLS team. You know, it's just going to come down to remodding specifically for this event. Look at this offense mod. It needs speed on it. That CLS team Go Burr is basically CLS, Chupio in the second slot, Chewbacca, Han Solo, C-3PO. If you remod this, that should be a CT3. And again, this crit damage mod with no speed on it. This tenacity mod with 3 speed on it. This health mod with no speed on it. This is the real Vaanced. This is very much that Vaanced. The only reason that you're not 3-star CT3ing this is your mods. You need speed mods on everything, and you need to sit down and do that. I know I hate modding too, but that's where this primarily comes down to. And I'm trying to talk to you from I understand that you get frustrated by certain things in the game, you know. So from the standpoint of someone who plays like semi-casually, the things that you should be doing, if you bring this team up even just for the event, switch it with your GL mods just for the event, that CT3 should be pretty easy. You have, let's see, you have SLKR. You should be able to 1-star CT3 it. You have C. Let's see what your other Sith look like. You know, like Papa Palp lead, Sith Eternal Empire in there, Treya. I use Dooku I found Dooku to be really useful here for a lower account because all of the retribution, he constantly is healing himself. But I would maybe use like Darth Talon and Savage with that, and you might be able to, with the right modding, be able to CT3 that event as well without too much problems. But again, it comes down to modding for it. Forest Moon should be a CT3. Veer, Stark, Piet, Dark Trooper, and Range Trooper, that should be an easy CT3. You just need to remod for it to all, you know, like high speed. And once the enemy gets, you know, like crit chance with no speed on it, defense with no speed on it, offense with 4 speed on it, a lot of your issues come down to modding. I've got a great guild for you, man. Fortuna, I don't remember the whole guild name. What are they? Fortuna Favors the Bold. They love guilds with crappy modding, players with crappy modding in there. You really need to build up the modding for this account. As far as where to go, I know that you've had trouble with staying in guilds in the past, and I don't know if that's a you problem or the guilds you're finding problem. You know, I would not normally suggest Inquisitors to a player, but you know, being Reva ready is going to make you attractive to guilds. So for someone that normally struggles, that might be a helpful thing for you to be going towards, just to kind of make you very, you know, to turn a 4 out of an LA 4 into like a New York 9. I know that you're closer to JMK. I would really, I think that Jedi Master Luke is a better bet for you. It's going to help you in Conquest. It's going to help you with your assault battles. It's going to help you in all of the avenues of the game. Jedi Master Kenobi is not going to really be super useful to you until you get Cat. It's not always about what's quickest for you. Sometimes it's about what's going to do the most for your account, especially someone that kind of is all over the place with their account. And I know it's going to take you a lot of time to do that because you don't have a fleet crystal income. But if you get into that top 50 just with your Executor, how it is, man, like, you'll at least be getting something to help you out. I think that, a lot of the times your modding might be one of the reasons guilds are getting frustrated with you is that you're not putting in the weight that other people might be able to put in. So I would largely consider, and I know it's going to take a long time for you, going the Jedi Master Luke to Jabba route. That's going to significantly help your modding, and then you can do whatever's fun for you. Inquisitors, again, I personally would not prioritize them at 5 million, but it would make you really attractive to some higher guilds, and they might consider not getting rid of you. But you're not going to really be Reva ready with really shitty mods. So that's going to be kind of a down point to that. So I think that Jedi Master Luke into Jabba is the smartest play for you. I also think that you need to start reframing your fleet, your thoughts on fleet. I hate fleets. I hate them so much. But they're just so important that if you start just farming 2 or 3 of them a day and just forgetting about it, just kind of doing it as like I'm going to do this over time, you'll start to get to them and fleets won't be so bad for you. And just as something you don't even think about, just something that you consider a little bit. There's not too much to say. This is going to take you a long time to do, and I know it's going to be frustrating, but I would do JML into Jabba, and then, you're closest to JMK, so maybe that's the time to do JMK. But once you have that ROI shored up, then if you really want to do Bad Batch as like your favorite farm, then go for it. But I would do Jedi Knight Revan in the short term because it's all core gear to G12, and that will help you. All right, that's really all I'm going to say because I know that your farming strategies are kind of all over the place. Smalls, man, cheers, dude. I'll see you. I see you every morning. It's going to take you a while, but that's the best bet for where you should be going, dude. Let's move on. GG. We'll close up GG. Let's just make sure before I head into this that my other guys are helping me with this. It's 9 o'clock. It's been about an hour. All right, that's fine. I don't need to do a tag yet. Roster reviews, Vaanced, just to make sure I have the right one up here. IP90. Let's get ourselves a timestamp, 2:05. I don't think we're going to get as many in as I would like today, but I'm going to have some time next week, which is nice. So, we'll try to get them done midweek. Oh, let's close that down. All right, I like your online content. Interested in a roster review. What's the top 20? About 10 executors, no Discord channel, but somewhat reached a silent understanding. I let one F free-to-play take first place most of the time. Salt battles, they look like they're... Okay, Kyber 4. It looks like you got them pretty short up, okay. Finishing Leia, then Inquisitors, and maybe Profundity, waiting to see if next Lightspeed bundle is Rogue One. Will also depend on new Lightspeed bundles, as part of the fun for me is to create a strategy around those. Are you dead set on continuing? No, I'm flexible. How highly do you value efficiency versus fun farms? Efficiency is part of the fun for me. Are there really any favorite characters? Not really. I'd like Leviathan, but probably too much of an investment right now. Here's the deal. When it comes to the Lightspeed bundles, I think that they did the SLKR and they did the Ray ones because they're really old GLs and they wanted to get people invested, and they saw that people were going for them. And you'll notice that they've done a bunch since then, but they've all been really old teams. I do not think that Rogue One is going to be the next one. If I were to look into my game, you know, and predict the next, you know, we've had what? We've had Genosians, we've had like Rebels to R3, we had Separatists. If I had to predict the next one, man, who would it be? Honestly, probably like Old Republic is, in my opinion, Old Republic seems like one that makes sense. Like Old Republic to R3, and it would be kind of like a Malik pack. I could see that being the next one pretty easily. I get the idea of going around Lightspeed bundles, but I do think that people will gimp their own accounts by doing that because you're waiting off on things that you should be doing. But we don't know yet because we do need to look at your account, right? So 6 million, well, 6.7 million. Seeing that you're pretty shored up on your assault battles so far is nice. No profundities yet. You don't have to worry about it. Looks like you're doing pretty well. You're letting other people take things. That's fine. I would highly recommend either trying to set up a Discord or seeing if there's a Discord or reaching out. Just because when you get to a point where people are unlocking things, like right now you're in a good position, but once more people are unlocking things and it gets harder, it is nice to have that fallback that everybody's in this like little bit of an understanding. Okay, I'm happy. We got Jabba, we got Jedi Master Luke, so we kind of have the core ROI here. Secrets and Shadows CT2, Fanatical Devotion CT1. Alright, let's just check these out. I'm assuming you bought this Lightspeed bundle. I can only imagine. No, not the Inquisitors. The other one. Fanatical Devotion. You're doing Fanatical Devotion with these guys? That's awesome. Let's see. Where are my Night Sisters? My Night Bitches. I will tell you that you can do CT3 with this team. It's just going to require extensive remodding and a lot of retries, which in the past seemed daunting. But with Marin, it's a lot easier now because it makes getting from phase 1 to phase 4 like a 2-minute ordeal instead of like a 20-minute ordeal, because of all of the plague that gets spread. You will have to put a lot of health on old Daka. Maybe you have the crit avoidance arrow, health. Maybe bump this guy up. Put your GL mods on these guys, and you could, if you take like an hour or two, probably get CT3 at 3 stars. Not terribly difficult. Let's check out where we are with Leia, shall we? Oh, so you're ticket farming. Did you say that? You just said finish Leia. Well, this was like a week ago, so maybe you're ticket farming her now. Let's see what we are on the profundity. 820. Leviathan is 1580. Let's check out these requirements, though. No Malgus yet. How we doing on this? No Bane. That's okay. What are we doing on these ships? Did I see Outrider done? Mark 6 is already done. B-28's close. Sith Fighter is done. That's kind of nice. What's the other one? Dagger, right? Where is Dagger? Dagger. I could just... Oh, there it is. 7. I mean... The one problem is I don't know how close you are on Bane or on Fury class to know if that is a realistic goal for you to go for it. Um, because you're already dominating your fleet, you don't necessarily have to gung ho towards the next fleet. But it is nice to have a second GL fleet, whether it is Profundity or whether it is Leviathan. It seems like you have the ships semi in order here, which is overall pretty good. Let's just check. Oh man, I need .gg to sponsor my account and give me free .gg. 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you have Zoricron? Okay, good. It's just like such an easy team. And then GLA is coming up soon. So we're missing Vader, we're missing C, and we're missing JMK. And let's just take a look at our guild. Okay. Yeah, look, this is about the time where you might really want to strongly consider Inquisitors. Grand Inquisitor transforms the team whole-handedly. Third Sister transforms the team even more whole-handedly. You already have the ROI on your account. Your guild is around that point where if they're not asking for Reva-ready people yet, they're in the process of starting to ask for that or considering that. And, you know, you kind of want to be on the forefront of that, definitely. So they are definitely I don't want to say they're a heavy priority, but I would say that they are somebody that you should strongly consider. Now, whether to go with Profundity or Leviathan, I think because I am not talking to you right now, and because I have no idea how close you are to Malgus and Fury class, I think what I would say is this. If you feel like you could unlock Fury class and Malgus in the next 5 to 6 months, go for Leviathan. If you feel like it's going to take you more than 5 or 6 months to go for Leviathan, go for Profundity. It's going to take you time to build up those teams and to get the relics requirements going, and you're going to be working on Inquisitors anyway. So, you know, with the fact that you have Kylo Ren and he can do the Malgus tier and he can do the Fury class tier. I'm pretty sure he does the Fury class one like really easily too. If you can get that in like the next 6 months, I would say that Leviathan would be the better option than Profundity for you. You know what? I want to go back to your guild really quickly. Alright, not too terrible much, not too terrible much priority towards the raid. So I wouldn't, I mean, I wouldn't put too much priority towards like Gungans or anything, or even the Queen Amidala team. Your Separatists seem fine. You know, wait on Stomp because he's a Cantina farm and will be faster, but I do think Stomp is going to be very useful in the raid. That would be my 2 cents. So just consider it as something you might want to prioritize, but not until we know how well Stomp does in the raid, because that'll be a very, very, very quick advancement for you where you won't have to spend too much of your effort towards it. Let's double check here. Okay, Lord Vader and C. I think I saw not Kev. Who am I looking for? I'm looking for Star Killer, but I think you have them. Okay. So what I would say, again, is yes, do the Inquisitors. I do think you're at that guild point where that's going to be important to you. Again, I would do Profundity if you don't think you can get Malice and Star Killer in about that 6 month time frame. Malgus and Fury class in about a 6 month or so time frame. 5 to 6 months. Otherwise, I would go for Leviathan. It is going to be a harder farm, but it's going to put you more on the pulse of fleets. And you probably won't need to star it up quickly, especially considering your fleet Discord is not like, or your fleet shard is not too crazy on the pulse of things, so that'll really significantly help you. Keep an eye on stop just to see where the raid prominence is before you invest in it, but I do think it's largely going to be a pretty good tool for you. Where to go from there, I think by the time you're done with this, we're going to have a GL announcement and we're going to have a fleet announcement. So I don't really want to tell you to go any further than that because you are far from all 3 of the remaining GLs. So I think it's not really being in a holding pattern. I think that the things you're investing in, by the time you're done with them, we're going to have more information, and we kind of want to hold off on anything going forward from that. Right, so I would check back after we get like a road ahead or a state of the galaxy or whatever they want to call their stupid thing in order to get us what we need to. But you have your ROI in order. And again, I do think your Night Sisters can do CT3. You're just going to have to do a remodding for that. Ooh, cold espresso. Let's move on. There's not too much more I can do with this one. Pop on Discord. We got Shootister. What time? 2:18. 2:19 actually. All right. Fleet Arenas. 11 7-star Leviathans, 3 6-star Leviathans, 6 7-star Executors. No, not sure how to find it. No one reaches out. Edit. Watch the last video, but not sure where the video mentioned is. Any help around that would be greatly appreciated. We can see how much you stress a fleet Discord. Okay, so Shootister. I do have a video on YouTube. Tag me on Discord after you read this, and I'll find it for you, because I'll forget by the time I finish streaming. Or tag Cunctator, because he has it queued up too. It's a quick, super quick 4-minute video that I did. It's like, I think it's called How to Contact Your Fleet Discord Without Really Trying, which is a play on how to succeed in business without really trying. I like my play on words. It kind of explains how to do it, but the basic idea is that you find the name of the people in your fleet Discord and then you cross-reference it to .gg to get their ally code to reach out to them and see if there's a Discord. There almost always, oh, you're here, perfect. There almost always is a fleet Discord available. Almost always. And it's super vast. I try to stay succinct in my videos because I don't like padding things and I want people to get information, not like sit through me talking about like, comment, and subscribing and making things longer for the sake of it. But it's super fast and that should largely help you. Assault battles, they look to be in pretty good order. CT1 on this. Alright, so you just have to get Marin, but this is about a week ago, so things could have changed. Fanatical Devotion 0, everything else is in perfect order. I love seeing that. That seems like your ROI is good. Current farms, farming Profundity, considering farm 2, just unlocked Ben Solo, Maul, and Malgus, unlocking Cat and BF SOJ. Dadbod Boba, I still don't have him at Relics. I literally just took him to G12, and only because I took all my roster to G12. Otherwise I wouldn't have. He's not useless, but he just kind of falls to the wayside. Some Padme gear away from Gas. Not sure what puts more on the table between Conquest characters and Gas. Alright, we'll see in a second based on your roster. Would prefer to finish Profundity, but can be persuaded if ROI is enough. Efficiency, 95.5. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is my favorite. I fucking hate Cal Kestis, but he's a great character in this game, so I'll allow it. Let's take a look. I know that most people do not share my hate of Cal Kestis, but I don't like him. Okay, 7.5. How are we doing in our fleet arena? We're hitting 30 with Executor. I am not an expert on how to win Executor versus Leviathan, but I know you can do it. So once you reach out to your fleet Discord, I would look into those strategy videos. Ask on our Discord, right? Hey, does anyone have some videos on this? And there's a few guys who have been doing great work trying to figure out the most reliable ways for Executor, even lower gear Executors, to not 100% reliably beat Leviathan, but like mostly reliably beat it. Because if we can even get you into the top 20 in the short term, all right, that's fair. I'm assuming you're a ginger, so that's fair. Tim Minchin, look him up. He's a very funny comedian / singer. He's a ginger. I like seeing him. He has a very funny song about gingers too. Only another ginger can call a ginger ginger. It's a very funny song. I just broke that code, I guess, but I get that. I would like to see you, in the short term, at least top 20. Profundity should make you a more reliable, should give you a more reliable... Well, if you're talking about ginger representation, I'm assuming he's a ginger, right? Like, that makes sense to me. Why would you care about ginger representation unless you were also a ginger? I have never said ginger this many times on a stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 of them. We got the ones that are important. JML, Jabba. So that's good. We don't have JMK yet. Kat slots in really nice with Ray. If you don't have JMK, she slots in really nice with Padme as well. So she's not going to be useless to you, which is nice. You got Malgus. All right, that's good. Right, it's a good song. Only a ginger can call a ginger a ginger. How far are we? See, look, I know. This is what I do. I drink and I know things. I'm like Tyrion Lannister. So what I'm going to tell you is I really would consider getting your Mark 6 up 5 battles a day. Because I'm not an expert on fleet battles, but I have seen, I have heard, I've watched a few videos on this. With Profundity, Mark 6 in the opening lineup is a semi-reliable counter. Admiral, I love how you heard me talking about gingers, and that's what gets me a follow. I'll fucking take it, guys. And I know most of my viewers on YouTube, but it doesn't matter. I'll still take it. I would largely consider getting that Mark 6 up just for that. It'll help you even with Profundity. I guess it works because Sith Fighter can't give you TM hitting somebody with 1 HP, right? And I think they're hard targeted to go from Mark 6. So I think that's why that works. But I'm not an expert on that. I would definitely do Mark 6 in the short term, especially because you're doing Profundity now. Outrider is... okay. And I had this epiphany, by the way, while I'm looking at this. I was like, man, I go on like these streams with like the Three Scoundrels and all these other guys who are more on Twitch, and everybody's always like sending them gift subs and shit, and I'm like, nobody does that for me. And then I realized I have ads turned off, and that's probably why. But fuck it, I don't give a shit. I don't think people need to watch ads while listening to me talk. So if that's how it is, so be it. You're very close to Profundity, so we're good on that. Starkiller. All right, let's check some of this shit out, shall we? Profundity, 100% go for that Profundity. You're so close. It is going to largely help you quite a bit. It is going to be more reliable against those Leviathans. Again, I have that video. It's like 4 minutes long. It'll help you out there in being able to reach out to your fleet Discord. We're gonna check out these guys. By the way, Kyle Katarn is my Cal Kestis. You know, everybody else loves their Cal Kestis. I love my Kyle Katarn. Talon, interesting. Let's check out. Okay, so Marin we're working on. We're finishing that up to get that CT3. And I think there was one more that we don't have yet. Fanatical Devotion. Okay, I want to check on those guys too. Alright, haven't even really done anything with them yet. Who do I want to look? Oh, Tarful, Saw, not too far off. Baby Cal, okay, and Seer. Alright, Nerf Hard, I like the guild name. I'm a fan. 310. So here's the thing. You're kind of right. You're kind of wrong. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is a really great character in this game. Your guild is not at the point. Are you dead set on your guild? Do you really like your guild? Are you planning on moving up? Where are your guild thoughts here? That might really largely change what I tell you to do. Can call. Oh man, that song's stuck in my head now. Ooh, nobody tagged. Gonna have to do some tags in TB filter. No, I don't want to filter. Just getting my TB stuff now while I wait. Let's get a notify in there. Notify true. Okay. Again, I ask that because in many cases, the advice I give is very much based on whether you are strongly for your guild or not. And being that you're strongly for your guild, I understand that you want Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. He is a great character. Your guild's not unlocking Zepho in a while. You know, so I don't think it's necessarily the most important thing for you right now to be working towards. You know, maybe in 100 mil or so, that might be a really good idea. I do think Star Killer, you're sleeping on Star Killer, and it's a really good small project you can be working towards. It's very, very good. I know he's on and off on being able to counter Rey because of the different Rey crons and crons that affect Rey. But he is a really good team, even outside of countering Rey. I generally will use it. Even, I think Gas is the other team I use him against sometimes in GAC. And it's not a super expensive team, especially because you already have Dash Rendar for Profundity. And Mara Jade is part of that team. And also very usable with Emperor Palpatine before you get Star Killer. So I definitely would not sleep on Star Killer. I wouldn't worry too much about raid prominence because of the guild you're in. It's not going to be something that you're going to crazy work towards. Kind of the same thing that I said to IP90. You know, your Separatists are in pretty good order. Just keep an eye on Stap. Don't go for him now because it's going to be a quick farm, but it might help you with the raid as being just a quick one-off farm. I do think he's going to be very useful for the raid, but I wouldn't invest ahead of time in him because you have so many other things that would be more important. Let's see what we got here. Between these guys, man. And you said, all right, let's look, because you told me you have some Conquest characters you're unlocking. Just unlock Ben Solo. Ben Solo, you know, because you do have Rey, Ben Solo is transformative for the team. Does largely give you a ton. I don't think Maul is a priority for you right now. Ben Solo, I do think, is a fairly short-term priority for you. I didn't look at what your gear is from now. Right now, I'm looking at Discord. and just kind of taking you for what it's worth based on what you said on Discord. Admiral Raider, I do roster reviews, but we do them through Discord. I don't know if you're on our Discord. I'll link it on Twitch for you. We have a very robust Discord, myself and Captain Amazing. And I generally have a line of people, a very long line. And I ask a couple questions for people because it helps me to give targeted advice. So if you go there, we actually have a lot of resources there as well. TB resources, auto resources, a lot of different things to help people out if you're ever interested. Man, now I'm distracted. So yeah, Ben Solo I do think is a largely pretty useful short term for you. I don't think Maul is a short-term priority for you right now with where you're at. He is very good even by himself, even without Lord Vader in a Maul Mando's team. Let's check out the Sith Empire and see where we're at with these guys. Cap needs to show me how to use like Twitch bots because I'm stupid at that stuff. Okay, so like again, Malgus. Well, you applied all 3 Omicrons to Malgus, so I really do think you should be investing in this team more short term as well, because it's not doing any good for you with like you've basically wasted 3 Omicrons unless you put some effort into this team, right? So I think it is something that you do need to shore up in the more shorter term. Ben Solo will give you a little bit more of a quicker return. Let's see. Well, you do have decent Mandos for a Maul team where it'll be usable. Ufus. Yeah, so we're still working on Ben Solo. I would say Ben Solo is your first priority here. I would say Malgus is your second priority. Maul will be useful with the Mandalorians that you currently have. I don't really think it's super priority to unlock him right now. I think you're at a point. You are much closer to C. But I think you're at a point where you can... yeah, I knock out my list pretty quickly, though. And my wife is on a business trip this upcoming week, so I'm going to be doing another stream probably like Tuesday night to knock out a lot more of the list. I'm not going to get as many reviews done today as I normally do, but I try to knock out 6 to 10 of them every Sunday. It's going to be less than that today, unfortunately, because we had so much to do in game. I think you're at a position where JMK is not necessarily a bad idea, especially because you're getting pretty close to unlocking Cat, and you've already built out your ROI. I would normally say Fanatical Devotion and Inquisitors, but because you're kind of sold on your guild right now, I also don't think they're a priority. I think what I would say to do would be Ben Solo is your priority, Malgus is your second priority. If you're only Padme gear away from Gas, Gas is... I would do it. I would say Gas is a semi-priority there. I would say Ben Solo, Malgus, Gas. Maul is a luxury right now, whether or not you want to take on a GL grind right now. I think I would do JMK, and then I would work on my Inquisitors. At that point, I think your guild will be in a position where they're looking to go towards Reva. And Grand Inquisitor does elevate that team largely, pretty importantly. After Inquisitors, we're talking a long time down the road. Maybe that's the time to go for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, but we'll see what the game is like at that point. But yes, Profundity should be your priority right now, based on where you're at. But again, tag me later. What's going to happen is when I do close out this stream, I'm going to be ending up going to the movies with my wife, and I might not see it right away, but if you tag like Cunctator and you ask about it, he'll probably give you the video as well. It's super fast, and I'll try to remember, but I'm bad at memory. But that's where I would go with your account. I'm actually pretty impressed at your GP, where your ROI is. So I would say I'm proud of you, man. Like, I'm proud of you. As much as that matters, whether it does or doesn't to you. All right. You know, before I do this next review, I do want to look into my game, because I do need to see where we are at with TB right now. Because that's important, right? So let's see where my guild is at, see if I have to change any goals. Oh, God. My Discord, I don't have any Discord messages right now. Are you talking about my ginger? I don't even want to look. Moon always coming in hot with his crazy pictures that I'm probably going to see soon. Oh, you completed a special mission. Nice. All right, where is this going in? We're still at 4 of 6. We should not be at 4 of 6. We should be at 5 of 6. Oh, you sent it to him. Well, I want to see it too. We're at 475. Next is 475. This is coming up. See, when people don't get their platoons in, it screws with me, because this should be an easy 330 right now, and I'm worried they're not going to get it in. So I want to check and see if these guys did their combats already. No, undeployed. Well, we're going to get at least 37. I'd like it to be 38 this time, but I don't think it's going to be 38. All right, Hazard already did his shit. Okay, so Jedi needs to do his... no, he already did his. Han still has his undeployed. Let me message him, because he's usually on. Alright, and yeah, see, I hate when I have to babysit people. And then Sith. Where the hell is he? Sith. Sith my shorts. Where the fuck are you? There he is. Oh, he already fucking deployed, I think. That's gonna be a problem. He already went. Active zone. Undeployed GP. We might not be able to do this. That's fucking annoying. I know this is super fun to look at, but it's important. Where the fuck? Yeah. Alright, we're probably not going to be able to get that one. Alright. Alright, so we're not going to be able to get that platoon. That's annoying. That's okay. So I'm going to upgrade this goal to 330 then. I'm going to send a message to my platoon guy. Looks like Sith already applied before we made that announcement. So Duck F4, 6. Let my platoon guy know that. We'll do this at 3:30. Yeah, 3:30 is fine. This one we will do next is at 480, 490 million. And we'll go from there, and then we will go back to these reviews. Let's check out what Moon sent me. We will pop Discord up. Beautiful Shootister, the ginger. And we're gonna try to get at least one more in. I hear my wife shuffling around upstairs. All right, where is our Discord? There it is. Rukiz. And what's our timestamp? 2:42. 2:43:00. All right, let's see. Hello, Egnards. Fleet, 8 7-star Leviathan, top 20. Rest is a mix of 7-star Executor and Profundity. No, I am not coordinating. You should be. We've talked about this ad nauseum today. I won't spend a lot of time talking about it, but I definitely would reach out to your Fleet Discord, try to get communicating. It makes your life so much easier to do that way. I promise you it'll make your life easier. Assault battles, maybe like one more. All right, dude, is that you, I'm assuming, Cronish? It's a weird way to say that you're here in chat, unless it's somebody else and I just didn't notice. But if that was you, you've heard me talk about Fleet Discords and the virtues of Fleet Discords, so we won't waste time on that. Current farms, currently working on 2 teams. SOKR, I'm just waiting for finalizer shards. Okay, rest of the team is nearly finished. Don't refresh for them. It's not worth it, I promise you, especially I'm assuming you're in a little bit of a Zeta crunch. Next set, yes, okay. This is a weird way to say that you are him, but I get it. Next set priority is Shakti clones for Cam, mostly hanging on Zetas. Yeah, so that's why you don't want to refresh the finalizer, because it's not important. Saving up for SOKR. Proving Grounds, I'm not able to clear Malgus, his ship and trench. Once you have SOKR, I will tell you that Malgus can do them all. It is a little bit of a pain in the ass, some of them, and some of them are a little bit luck-based, but he's able to do every single one of them. Sometimes you need, like, Thrawn. Sometimes you need, like, Watt or whatever, but SOKR himself is able to do them. And I think that the community, actually our Discord has it tagged, too. Has a Trello board. I'm not super familiar with Trello, but it's where people can post up the teams and make it easier to figure out what is or isn't worth using. We have a lot of, I think I got a lot of people from Germany. Moonborn, possibly Rukiz, and then there was, actually no, I think it was you who was in Germany before, who was talking about Brunch. So it would be 2 people. After this, I want to go 100% efficiency. We'll also buy upcoming Lightspeed bundles, maybe relevant. I have around 750 computers and around 850 shock prods. Well, those are going to be gone once you do SLKR and CAM stuff. I like to min-max. Maximizing crystal income and a general idea for my next fleet investment would be great, but that is kind of the review part, I guess. I was thinking about assault battle teams, Jabba, Bad Batch to utilize Marauder, Inquisitors, or teams to help me get Malgus ship shards, but I'm excited to see what you would do next. Guild is farming DSGO and RTE 12 to 13 stars at the moment. So if your guild is doing DSGO and Rise of the Empire, what's with Cam? Like getting shock clones for Cam if you're not even doing LSGO. Guild is farming DSGO, no Reva farming, switching. Oh, you're okay. I see. I gotcha. I understand where we're at. Never mind. I just need to read. So that's why you're switching to Cam. Okay. All right. This is why Egg needs to read shit. Avorius, man, good morning. One of my three scoundrels friends. You get a little bit more egg in the morning. Which, by the way, I like my eggs over easy, in case anybody cares. I like a good scrambled egg, but I like my scrambled eggs weird. I prefer my scrambled eggs more on the dry side, less on the fluffy side that and textured side that a lot of people like. All right, so this is kind of the opposite of the account we were just looking at. This is like a 6 million account that doesn't really have their assault battles in order, and I'm going to tell you we need to get our assault battles in order. Where is our executor? We've got her him at 4 stars, them at 4 stars, because executor is just a ship, not a person. 8 Leviathans in top 20. Rest is a mix of executors and profundities. I would consider getting executor to 5 stars, because with those executors and those profundities, you should be able to get into the top 10 at the very least, but you are going to want to coordinate with your fleet discord, and that'll help really push your ROI ahead, because you're going to be getting free crystals that way, right? So that's going to be a super, super important thing for you to do. 5 star should be a semi-priority for you for that ship, because short term, it's going to provide you a lot of ROI. Your assault battles are kind of a mess for where you are right now, and let's just kind of see where we're at with them, shall we? I'm assuming you're using bounty hunters to CT2 just because you are. Just because your forest moon is less than your bounty hunters. Okay. Places of power. Let's see. Well, places of power you're going to have at CT3 relatively soon, because you're going to have SLKR. So we can kind of ignore that right now. I want to just look at Phoenix, because you have bought some... Captain Rex, I think I've seen Captain Rex do military might, so you might consider bringing Captain Rex to like G12 and remodding even just your Phoenix to try to get a CT1 or a CT2 out of military might. The CT1s are the most important. The other ones are luxuries that are really nice to have, but that CT1 is going to be really important for you, and I'm almost positive I've seen Captain Rex able to do that. So having the Lightspeed bundle, that is a good idea to go towards. No Revan yet. Where would I do with this? I don't know who I would use here. But if you remodding is important for these to get to a CT3. If you remod, maybe GMY as the lead, General Kenobi, Jedi Knight Anakin, maybe like Kyle Katarn and Ahsoka can maybe do CT1 of Jedi, but I'm not really holding out hope for that. Also, by the way, Phoenix with Captain Rex will be able to do Secrets and Shadows at CT1. So that'll give you like really quick. I'm just looking for things that you're not going to have to invest a lot into to get something out of them for your ROI. SLKR, Cam, okay, those make sense. Not able, you will be able to do that. Let's check out GL gear, shall we? Okay, so we're just waiting on the thing. We've got that. Oof. Okay. Let me bring these down so you guys can kind of see where we're at with these things. Listen, I think you've got this is a very classic case kind of scenario you have in your account, and I say this really often to people, in order to shore up that ROI and also to help you in the game modes that are priorities to you right now or should be priorities to you right now, I would be going down the JML Java route. Once you finish SLKR and once you finish your CAM, your Shakti clones to be able to get CAM, because your guild is going to be start working on that, and you want to get as many shards as possible before your guild switches over to ROTE short full time, because getting CAM shards with Get 3 is largely a pain in the ass. But getting JML and getting Jabba are going to shore up, military might, ground war, rebel roundup. Jabba with modding, Smuggler's Run 2 is the highest ROI event right now in this game. JML is also going to give you a really, really, really amazing Conquest team to help you push ahead in Conquest. It's going to give you a team that's very versatile in LSTB. I used to split that team into two, Jedi Knight Luke lead and Jedi Master Luke lead. So it's going to help you in the TB that's super relevant to you right now. And it is a good GAC team. People don't put it on defense so much anymore because of Inquisitors, but it is a good team. It does seem daunting because you're fairly far from Jabba, but you're going to get a lot of closer to Jabba just from doing like Jedi Knight Luke anyway. So it's not the worst thing in the world for you. At that point, you're in that ecosystem of profundity maybe largely being something to consider, because after you get Jedi Knight Luke, Jedi Master Luke, and Jabba, you'll have Outrider, you'll have a few more of the requirements, and profundity will be relatively close. I don't think that there's really too much crazy to talk about with your account, because this is like a classic case type of account that a lot of people kind of fall into that ROI trap. And that's going to really help very strongly shore up your ROI and put you in a much give me 1 second, DRX, and I'll kind of explain it to you, and give you a much better position to choose what you want to do. I'm just laughing at Black Hammer. I have friends that call me Sweet Tits, so it's very funny to me. I have friends that I call Sweet Tits too. But I think that that's where you need to go for the game right now, and I think it's going to help you more than anything else, and it's going to take you a while, so there's not too much really more to talk about. I would consider Jedi Knight Revan as well as more of a short-term project. It's going to help your Jedi, and it's going to help you be able to split your JML Jedi Knight Luke for light side territory battles. Oh, God, I gotta go back onto Twitch again. I need to make Twitch mods, but nobody watches me on Twitch. Everybody watches me on YouTube. Oh, man. You fucking people. I don't want to see Twitch. Does anyone want to see me get naked? No, right? Because I'm like a New York 6. That's fine. I'm married, so I don't need to worry about being more than a New York 6. Where is my mod view? Go. Bam. There we go. So, how do you split Jedi for light side territory battles? Actually, the way that it kind of works is that you put Jedi Knight Luke with your strongest characters. I don't remember the exact split. Let me see if I still have my splits. I might have deleted the set for it, unfortunately, because I don't do light side territory battles anymore. But let me see if I still have it. Yeah, it looks like I deleted my tab for light speed. But basically the idea is you put your strongest hitters with Jedi Knight Luke, right? So you would do like Jedi Knight Luke, Jedi Knight Revan, General Kenobi, and that team, and Hermit Yoda, who's really fast. And that team, you go slow and steady because Jedi Knight Luke is so slow that the other team doesn't even get any turns. But then Jedi Master Luke, you put with like your Jolie, you put with like your Bastilla Shan, you put with like your Shakti, even at lower relic levels, for a couple of reasons. One, once you get to your ult, Jedi Master Luke has taunts don't matter anymore. And two, Jedi Master Luke's special ability, it lets all of your other characters do heavy damage even though they're not damage dealers. So I used to throw like Jedi Master Luke with like Old Ben and Shakti and like Jolie, and obviously they do have to survive, but because you didn't need to worry about taunts and because you didn't need to worry about them doing high damage, it was very easy to split those two teams up. It still does require pretty good modding, because you need a really fast Jedi Knight Luke team but a slow Jedi Knight Luke. And Jedi Master Luke's team, obviously, you want them to have pretty good mods as well. In ROTE, I split a little bit differently. DRX, I don't know if you're on our Discord or not, but we have, so I'll say this for everybody that's on right now, and I'm gonna get off of this because Rukiz, I kind of give you exactly what you needed, right? You need to finish your SLKR. Finish your SLKR, don't refresh it. Finish your Shakti clones with Cam. But then I do think JML Jabba is the only smart ROI efficiency route for you. But because again, I do need to go, and we'll try to get more of these guys done on like Tuesday night when I'm home alone. But just so that you can see if you're not aware of it, and so that other people can see who might be aware of it or aren't aware of it. We have this awesome like TV library here, where we have been kind of compiling what teams work in different spots, and I've been kind of working on getting the Gungan videos up, and it's all like broken down in nice ways where you can see like autos versus not autos, for different planets and different CMs. Do Jedi Knight Luke and Jedi Master Luke, can you split them in ROTE? I'll answer that in a second, Rukiz, rather. I think you can get away with it, but I do think that, so I have the Kyle Katarn Omicron, and it's because it saves me a lot of time and it allows me to auto things. I'm a huge proponent of autoing things in territory battles because it saves me a lot of time, or active time. It saves me a ton of active time. So the Kyle Katarn Omicron makes a Jedi Master Luke team work really reliably, and then I also have the Jedi Knight Cal Kestis lead Omicron, and you can throw Jedi Knight Cal Kestis with the lead Omicron with literal shit Jedi, and he cleans up. I personally don't split my Jedi Knight Luke and my Jedi Master Luke because those light speed battles are relatively tough. So I haven't tried it. In neutral, it probably works because the neutral battles are a lot easier. We talked about this earlier in the stream when it comes down to what the next Lightspeed bundle is. I think they brought us into the oldest GLs to kind of wet our whistle, but they've been doing core teams since then. I don't think we are going to see a JML bundle or a C bundle next. My prediction that I had said much earlier in the stream, I think you were here, maybe not, is probably Old Republic. We just got a gas bundle, and I'm imagining we might get like an Old Republic Malik bundle to R3. That would be the next one that I think would be coming out. I do think we're looking at like 6 to 12 months before we even consider seeing another GL style bundle. But who knows? I've been wrong before. I'm just looking at from a a financial standpoint for them, what makes sense to make people want to do them without pissing people off, that all of these things are not, that are easily sellable. With that said, it's about 11 a.m. I have a movie to go to at noon, so I do need to go. We did not get as many roster reviews in as I normally get in, and I apologize for that. We had a lot to get done in the game. There's a few people that I wanted to get done today. My wife is on a business trip all next week, so I'm probably going to do, and I will answer your question, Cronish, I probably am going to do a stream like Tuesday night, so more prime time, and we'll try to knock out a bunch more of these that I should have gotten done today. So it won't be a long wait for you guys. I promise. I do like to make sure that I get this stuff done. So last question, immediately jump to next year or first of us. So, I think when it comes to the assault battles, Jedi Master Luke and Jabba are going to do the same thing by shoring things up. I think the only assault battle team I would invest in ahead of time is bringing Captain Rex to G12. And you might have to put a Zeta or two on that team because it'll be very quick to do, and it will give you military might at CT1 for now, and the Night Sister 1 Secrets and Shadows at CT1. So I think that that's a super, super easy, quick investment. JML and Jabba will kind of shore up everything else for you, so I don't think it's necessarily something you have to worry about in the short term to kind of work towards those things otherwise. With that said, we are going to see, what are we going to see today? We were going to go see The Strangers. We got like a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. We're going to see something today. I don't fucking remember. I don't even know. We're going to see a movie today. Everybody have a great rest of your Sunday. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys prime time Tuesday night. I know I'm competing with like Arnold and all of the cool kids. But have a great Sunday. Have a great work week. I'll see you guys definitely next Sunday. But most likely either Tuesday or Wednesday night we'll do something fun to get the rest of these knocked out. So peace out. Thank you for chilling with me Sunday morning, and